Welcome, little bells, to Art with Mr. Patrick and Miss Randle.
Today's date is Thursday, April the 16th, 2020. Materials that you will need today are pencil, paper, crayons and markers are optional. In today's lesson, we will create a cityscape.
Hey students, it's Mr. Patrick, your K2 art teacher at Bell Forest Community School. Also, we'll have Miss Randle, our 3-5 art teacher from Bell Forest Community School, joining us as well in the video. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a city scene or a cityscape. And we're going to be doing this to focus on foreground and background in our art. We're going to learn a lot about foreground and background in our art today. So if you could, grab a pencil, a clean sheet of paper, and we're going to try to show you guys step by step things that you need to do to create your cityscape, including learning about foreground and background.
Now let's take a look at our I can statement for today. Today I will create a cityscape so I can understand foreground and background. I will show my understanding when I have 4 rectangles for buildings, 1 half circle for sunset, and 1 triangle for pyramid. Now let's take a moment to review landscapes. You remember landscapes. A landscape is a drawing or painting of a natural scenery. It will include forests, trees, rivers, hills, mountains, oceans. You get the drift. Now, do you remember? Are they horizontal or vertical? Take a moment to think about it. Landscapes are... Yes, landscapes run horizontal. That means left to right or right to left. Here's a review of parts of a landscape. Landscapes include foreground, middle ground, and background. But today we're going to focus on background and foreground. The background of a picture will include the items that are furthest away from you, and the foreground of a picture will include the items that are close to you. Let's take this picture of Memphis, for example. In the foreground, which are the things closest to you? There's a bridge. For the background, which is everything that's the furthest away from you, in this picture would be the buildings. Now, let's tune in to Mr. Patrick for the start of our drawing.
So with your paper, I want you to turn your paper like a TV. This is a TV. This is a tablet when it's up and down like a normal sheet of paper. So we're going to turn it sideways like a TV in order for us to draw our cityscape. So with your pencil on the left side of your paper, we're going to draw our first rectangle. I'm going to use a marker because I already have mine kind of sketched out. So I want you guys to follow along as I draw my first rectangle. So we're going to start about halfway up the left side of the paper, and then you're going to draw a horizontal line. And remember, horizontal lines are lines that go left to right. Make sure I got mine dark so everyone can see it. If you have a straight edge or something to trace, if you don't feel comfortable drawing a straight line, you can use that to draw your straight line at home. Then next, we're going to take the line where we stopped, and then we're going to go all the way down to the bottom of our paper. All right, that's our first
a vertical
rectangle.
line.
All right, next what we're going to do is we're going to go up about a little over halfway on our first rectangle, and then we're going to draw another horizontal line, and then we'll stop, And then we're going to draw another line, another vertical line that goes up and down to the bottom of our page as well. Okay. We're going to pick up where we left off at that same horizontal line. We'll take it up now. Make sure it's dark. Remember, you're using a pencil, and if you need to use that pencil to erase, please feel free to erase. And then we're going to make another horizontal line going left to right. This is going to give our buildings a variation in height, so we can have different size buildings. And then we'll stop, and then we'll take it all the way down to the bottom of our page. Okay, so right now you should have, looks about 3 buildings. All right, and then we're gonna go again. Maybe let's not go halfway, let's go a little lower. We're gonna have a smaller building. All right, and we're gonna take our horizontal line, go all the way across here. We'll stop, and then we'll make another vertical line going down to the bottom of our page. Then we'll take it back up. All right. Then we'll make another horizontal line that goes off our page. All right. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rectangles on our page. We said we want to at least have 4, so we have 5, so we definitely meet that requirement for our cityscape. And all our buildings are going to be considered in the foreground right now. Also, this kind of looks like, for the older kids, looks kind of like a bar graph. So when you think about your math, looking at graphs, you'll be able to look at this picture and you'll be like, oh, the bar graph kind of reminds me of a cityscape. So that can kind of give you a little bit of a connection between some things that you've seen in math and what you are drawing today. So these buildings are in our foreground. So we also have to draw, we said possibly putting something extra in our picture. So what we're going to do is I'm going to draw a triangle in the picture about right here. And then bring it down. All right.
I know you're saying, well, this looks familiar. That's
All
our
right.
pyramid.
So I've drawn a triangle. And also what I'm going to do is we're going to put a half circle or an arch. And what we're going to do with that is going to touch our first rectangle, our first building. And we're going to bring that arch all the way over. And it will touch our last building. Okay, so that's going to be in the background. That's going to be like, and it will touch our last building. Okay, so that's going to be in the background. That's going to be like our sunset in the background. Okay, so we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buildings. We have a triangle here, and I'm thinking that we got the triangle here. Does anyone know somewhere possible where we've seen a triangle or a triangle type building somewhere, maybe downtown in Memphis? I'll give you a chance to think about that. We'll come back to it. So for our buildings, we have, of course, if they're buildings, they're going to have windows. So you're going to use some squares, put a few windows in there. You don't have to put a bunch of them, but you can if you like. I'm gonna put maybe 3 rows in here. little windows there. You're gonna put a little doorway. A little handle right there. And put a long window in here. You know, different buildings have different kinds of windows. Some of them have just regular windows, and some of them have those long, big windows in them as well. So we want to make sure we make our buildings look different. Every building doesn't look the same. Some are similar, but some don't look the same exactly. All right. Some of the buildings, let's put an antenna on this one. Have a good antenna on there. Get some good Wi-Fi. All right. Then we got our triangle here. For our triangle, I'm gonna add some cool lines. Well, these lines on there, that should help you guys figure out what kind of building, what building this is. I know you've probably seen it before. Maybe some of you've been there before. Put that little balcony at the top. I know that might definitely give it away if you don't know what kind of building that is. All right. Put another little line on that for that building so it can be different. Put a door. Set doors on it as well. Let's put doors on all of them. All you do is make a little square, put a line down the middle, put a C and a D. CD for door openings. There you go. For door handles, C, D. All right, then we got our last building here. Give it some windows too, so it won't feel left out. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot he needs a door too, so we're gonna give this building a door. All right. See, backward C right there. All right, now our buildings have a few windows, some doors. Our triangle has its shape coming together as well, and then we have our arch in the back. Now our arch in the back is gonna be our sun, so if you want it to be a sun, a sunset, or if you want it to be a morning sun, a sunrise, you can add different things to it. Since it's the sky in the background, you want to add maybe some clouds. So to draw the clouds, you draw a straight line, a horizontal line going left to right, and then you just put some M's in there. Connect it there. And you can put another one over here. And bring it across just like so. Good. And maybe you want to add some sun rays to it. Okay. And there you have it. You have your 5 buildings here in the front. And those are in the front because they are in the foreground. Great. Now, in the background, behind the buildings, we have the sun. And the sun is in the background because it's behind the buildings. So foreground means front. Background means, of course, in the back. Okay? So keep that in mind as you are drawing your cityscape. Also, now that you have completely drawn out each part of the city, the buildings, windows, the sun in the background, and the clouds, you can begin to use your crayons or markers that you have, and you can color your buildings and your sun. Now with the buildings, you can color them any color you like. And of course the sun, we'd love for you guys to color that yellow, and you can color your sky. All right, so keep that in mind as you're coloring. Remember, if you want to use a marker or crayon to give yours a defined outline in each part, please do so and then begin coloring.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick, for that awesome picture you showed us how to draw today. Now let's get to coloring. You don't need our help with this. Go ahead, finish it up. Time for your exit ticket. Stay tuned. Which part of the picture is considered the background? Is it A or B? If you guessed A, you are correct. Let's take a look. All right, here in our background, we have our clouds, our sky, and our sunset. Awesome job. Thank you, little bells, for joining Mr. Patrick and I in our first virtual lesson today. Can't wait to see you back, and we can't wait for you to share with us. Don't forget to send your picture to our email addresses so we can share it in the next video. Also, remember to stay creative, keep drawing, share with us, and we cannot wait to see you back in our hallways at the Bell. See you next week.